look, the butterflies might be asleep, child.
Session. Hey, Lindris. Hey, Warren. Give y'all a few minutes to get in. A few minutes to get in. I want to hear this song, child. How y'all doing tonight? Hey, T. Oh, you changed your name. Welcome to the membership, Trisha. How y'all feeling tonight? You feeling good? Hey, Ashley. You're doing beautiful. I am doing beautiful as well. We had a beautiful past life regression session tonight, and I really just still had the energy and I wanted to have a conversation. I almost was gonna go on my Aries channel, because baby, the Aries channel, we've been over there vibing, okay? We have been vibing, okay? So if the algorithm ever brings you to my Aries channel, then you already know what it is. I've come to learn that I'm not sharing my other channels on this channel anymore. I didn't realize, like, I had a lot of trolls on this channel. Because I realized I don't start getting trolls on the other ones until after I start sharing things on this channel. So I'm not sharing videos and all that other jazz from my other channels. I'm gonna let the algorithm point you to it if you need to find it. Because this channel has a lot of trolls on it, and I understand why, just because of the nature of the content that was primarily done on the channel, and it brings a lot of unstable people sometimes. Um, but yeah, I want to get away from that in my Aries space because we live over there. Okay, so if you over there, you already know we live over there. We outside. Okay. Hey, Lady Saturn. Hey again, Tay. Listen, because Warren, you up over there. Most of y'all, those of y'all who've been here for a minute, y'all already over there. You know what I'm saying? You're already over there. Um, so I don't know if any of y'all have heard Lizzo's song, her new album, but the first song on the album is called Crash Out. And I was listening to it and I was like, I think I like this. I think I like this. Okay. Um, I feel like a lot of butterflies in this collective, you had like those moments, and now like you're at this space where you're starting to look unrecognizable to people who once knew you, to people who 444 who once had like a certain type of connection with you. You're unrecognizable to them now. So this could be old family members, like parents, it could be friends, it could be old lovers, it could be children. Like, you're no longer who people remember. And I want to point out with this, because this is what shows you how much a lot of people don't change in their life. A lot of people literally stay in the same cycle for the rest of their life. They stay in the same relationship cycles, they stay in the same job cycles, they stay in the same like they stay in the same, they do the same thing. Everything is Groundhog Day, right? So you You've gone out, you've experienced life, you've done different things, you've traveled to other places, you've met different types of people, you've learned new things, you've read some books, like you've tried new food. You get what I'm saying? And those people that once knew you, hey, Patina Pool, those people who once knew you, they don't know you anymore. And you want to know why? Because they don't have those same experiences. You have to realize that your experiences is what opened your mind and your heart up in the first place. You didn't start getting so open and understanding of the world more until you opened yourself up to the world to see what was really out there. And you'll realize there's a lot of people who's afraid to experience the world. 4224. It's a lot of people who are afraid to experience the world. They live their whole life until they're older and they start wishing that they would have did all these different things. And those are the same people who's trying to make you feel a type of way for you doing it now. And the reason for that is because they want to make themselves feel better for not trying the things that they wanted to try when they had the opportunity. We have to realize that not every elder is for the betterment. And as someone who connects to ancestral energy, and this is another reason why I stopped doing it publicly a lot, because a lot of the collective butterflies, ancestors, want to keep you in a loop. They want to keep you in a cycle, a generational cycle. And because your heart is so attached to it, it's hard to see it. It's hard to see that it's attached to a wound. This season, your elders are not going to understand you. The elders who are still alive, they're not going to understand the moves you're making. They're not going to understand the vision that the higher power gave you. They're not going to understand what your spirit is calling you to do. But guess what? Do it anyway. It makes me think about on the Notebook, for example. On the Notebook, how, Allie really wanted, that it was a whole toxic relate. We ain't gonna get into the toxicity of the relationship. But just the fact that her mom, the person who she really wanted to marry, was a regular factory worker, right? But she married money. So then that set those same behaviors and actions of her mom got pushed onto her. Through her mom realized her own faults. She realized her own healing that needed to happen. And that's what you need to understand when you're the first to do things in your lineage and your family, away from the ancestors, away from the elders, because every ancestor did not have your best interest at heart. Because I know for damn sure, baby, my great grandmama, child, lady was mean as all get out. Okay? She hated the bloodline. The bloodline started through rape. She hated it. Right? So we have to understand the energy of what we are coming through. And that's why the class that I'm doing this week is on healing the mother line. But anyway, back to this. When you're the first to do something in your lineage, when you're the first to experience something, when you're the first to speak out about something, okay? You don't fit in. But guess what? They see you. They may not tell you they see you. They may not tell you that they're motivated from you or that they are intrigued by you, but they see you. And they don't know if it's a hate that's inside of them against you or if it's a hate against themselves for not doing the things that they wanted to do. You need to realize a lot of those old elders or just people in general who are mean, they're really mean and mad at you because you're showing up in a way that they couldn't or they felt like they couldn't and they didn't. And when you're the first to trailblaze that, I always talk about this. Whether the scenery is a forest or the scenery is 2 feet of snow, when you're the first to have to go through there, it's difficult. I don't know about y'all, but I was raised in Michigan, baby, and we got a lot of snow. I had to walk to school in snow, okay? I had to walk to school in snow up to my ankles. We finding pathways and shit, okay? I mean, past my ankles. I meant to say my knees. I was like, your ankles. Wrong body part. But what I'm saying is that when you're going against what everyone around you know, you said in Kansas too. Listen, oh, we was just talking about Dorothy in the past life regression today, and the fact that you just mentioned Kansas. Oh, how you do that there? It's a message in that. Okay, it's a message in that. Think about in that one, even Dorothy was raised by her aunt, uncles, you know. It was a misunderstanding of the mind of what they wanted or what they visualized, what mattered. You get what I'm saying? Dorothy was able to see all the things that her family members, the elders in her life, needed more of. They couldn't see it. They were so focused on what needed to get done. They didn't really have their imagination. They weren't listening. They weren't connected. But Dorothy had to wander off and go off and do whatever the fuck. Okay, you know, y'all get what I'm saying. And have her experience. And then if we look at the black version, okay, with the Wiz, you know, we ain't talking about, y'all know I don't like Diana Ross's version, okay? So you already know we ain't talking about her. We talking about the original with Stephanie Mills. You know what I'm saying? We see that in every space. And the elders feel like they know what's best, right? Because they've lived longer. But sometimes living longer means that the spell has just been on you longer. Just means that you've been brainwashed a little longer. It don't mean you lived. Just because you've lived longer don't mean you've lived. Let's see who I ain't said hi to. Hey, Darla. Hey, Big Blessing Season. Hey, Cyber D over Survival. Hey, Tequila. Had to make sure I say hey. So we need to understand that age don't mean shit. It's a lot of old fools. They call them old geezers. Y'all know I've been bringing geezers back, okay? Them old geezers. But it's a lot of old fools out here. And so you can't base everything that you do and your decisions based off of the judgment of elders. And that was something that I was running into. And this is why sometimes I hate being so conscious of the world. I hate my neurodivergency at times. And I wish that I never took the pill of seeing the world for what it is. But I could be channeling a message. And you need to understand, I always tell y'all, just because I'm channeling a message don't mean that it's me and my, you get what I'm saying? Like, as a channel, I'm just doing my job to the collective. And I think many people mix that up and they think because I'm saying that as a channel and I'm pulling these cards and I'm pulling my energy into that. No. So there were messages that I had to relay that was coming out that I didn't agree with, baby. Because my spirit on one side would be saying, oh, that's keeping them stuck in something. But grandma's saying, you get what I'm saying? How many of us have gotten stuck in that? So this is why I channel on my Aries channel. That's different when it than versus channeling ancestral energy and certain energy, because I'm a conduit at that point. It's not me at that point. I want to be me. I want to take the higher consciousness of what we've learned from those generational relationships and individuals from the past and build on what we've learned from them. Let's not just leave it at those messages of comfort, right? But then again, at the same time, you have, is there anything wrong with people who just want messages of comfort, right? No, there's nothing wrong with that. But we need to realize that sometimes messages of comfort keep you stuck. Just things that's just always comforting you, that keeps you comfortable and feeling good, it keeps us stuck. It's like that friend who you done went to them 100 times about that relationship and they keep coddling you back into it versus saying, hey, you need to leave that alone and focus on yourself. Okay? Maybe it's time to focus on yourself. Get into some therapy, right? That accountability. And what we need to realize is that a lot of people in our life, both old and young, lack accountability and discipline. And that's why many lack the success that is desired, which is why drama is so big. When you're the one who's called to step out in a different way, especially a way that hasn't been done before, remember your frequency. Remember your energy. You can respect your elders, but that don't mean you gotta follow everything that they say. Take it as a grain of salt and really analyze who is speaking that thing. What is the life that they live? Are they apologetic about that life? Are they reflective about that life? Are they expansive about that life? Are they always happy? Are they always sad? What is their energy? Hey, Notori Pooh. I'm thinking y'all changed y'all names on here. I think YouTube is just showing y'all usernames now instead of your what's the name, because that's interesting that it's showing up like that. But you got to really analyze the speaker. Is that speaker living a life that they're happy about, that they enjoy? Are they going out and trying and expanding, or are they stuck in comfort? Because then that lets you know if they're guiding you in comfort or if they're guiding you in expansion. And a lot of times we're getting messages. And when I say messages, I mean just like energy that we channel within self in general. We're getting them from places of comfort and not places of expansion. Places of expansion is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to expand. When our bones were growing inside our body and the stuff was stretching, it was moving real slow, but it was uncomfortable. You know, we was itching and stuff a lot. It was uncomfortable. Okay? But it needed to be done. And I feel like a lot of the collective, you're being called to push through the discomfort. And when I think about one thing, for example, getting a consistent workout routine in, and my fucking personal trainer do not play, y'all. This man ain't got no sympathy for me, okay? Now, he has some sympathy because when I was on my monthly with working out, and he was like, well, we can do some arms, and my dumb ass, we can do legs. I don't know what I was thinking, child. I don't know what I was thinking, but so what I've learned, though, is that it's been showing me more about myself through that discomfort, levels to myself that I hadn't reached before because I hadn't been pushed to that level before. I haven't been pushed to that place before. And we never realize just how far we can go until we keep going, until we push just a little further. I realized I was doing more reps when I wasn't counting. I was doing more reps when I wasn't counting. Okay? The mind is powerful when I'm not focusing too much on how bad it feels. And you got to realize as it gets harder and harder, that mind got to get stronger and stronger on what it's focusing on. Your why got to be strong. And that's life. To expand and grow, we got to have the right nutrients, the right soil, and the right water. We can't cook a recipe of a meal with all the ingredients, the right ingredients, right? So why wouldn't life be the same way? So if the ingredients we're putting into something is outdated advice or information, outdated actions, like if the ingredients that we're putting in, the outcome is going to be very similar, right? And so this season, push yourself past that place of comfort. And I'm not saying go out there and hurt yourself and injure yourself. No. Okay? But if you typically walk half a mile a day, walk 0.75. If you typically take the elevator at work, take the stairs. Or take the stairs for at least one flight. Do something that challenges you in that routine, and you will not regret it. Mark my words. You will not regret it. Three. Y'all feels me? Y'all feels me tonight? Okay, y'all feels me tonight? I keep hearing that song Discipline by Larry June, child. Discipline. You gotta have discipline. That's my song, okay? Warren, I didn't realize you had 777 in your name. Come through 777. I just saw that on the license plate the other day. So this season, do the uncomfortable things. If something is just comfortable and normal and you ain't doing it right, okay? Add something that has a little bit, like it's testing you. You get what I'm saying? Force your brain to have to learn and do something different every day. It could be, dictionary.com, they send you an email every day of a new word. Learn something new in a new language every day. Do something every day that tests your brain. Okay? That's one of the first things my dad used to tell me. When I tell you it's just so interesting as I look back on stuff, the things that I implement now are things that I witnessed him do, that he told me to do, but I didn't get it at that time. I'm young, wild, free, want to have fun. I knew what was best for me, okay? You know what I'm saying? I know what's best for me, okay? And now here I am doing the same shit. I'm doing the same things. And it's so interesting because every time when we pass things down, we say, oh, I'm doing this to help the next generation or the people after me to not have to go through what I went through to get it. But a lot of us still got to go through the life experience to get it. Like, that's the reality. We can give the information all we want until we turn purple and blue, but people have to sometimes go through the actual situation and life experience to fully understand what you're telling them and what you're trying to share with them. And I'm one of the people, I gotta feel the fire, I gotta get burnt. I told y'all I got a whole mark on my hand that I got a tattoo over. That came, I had to burn myself because I couldn't listen. I didn't want to listen. Okay. And so we have to understand when there's people around us who are like that too, right? We got to let them do what they gonna do. But that don't mean you got to stay around while they do what they do and while they figure it out either. You get what I'm saying? You can let them figure it out and you continue doing what you need to do. Because sometimes energies together at the wrong time and in the wrong vibe, it just, both of y'all be fucked up. Everybody fucked up who's in the mix. You get what I'm saying? It's like you got two expired ingredients being used. When they come together, they combustion. No. How about we both get, we both brand new ingredients and now we come together. You get what I'm saying? And so you gotta know the difference. You gotta know the difference. But this season, them tests that's coming, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay? Hey, Profoundly Pooh. It's a good thing. If you don't get anything else, it's a good thing. It doesn't mean that the universe is mad at you or the world is, all this other jazz and people putting spells on you. No, it's none of that. It's a good thing. It means that you're going up a weight class. You get what I'm saying? So for example, when I come into training and I see that my trainer then went up a few pounds on my weights, that means that he feels like I done mastered that last one and it's time to go further. You get what I'm saying? Hey, Sparkle Poo. That's not a bad thing being in that energy. It means that you're ready for it. It means that you're back into another level of endurance, another level of problem solving, another level of, figuring shit out because you dope as hell and you can do it. Okay? We can't run from struggle. We can't run from shit happening. It's always, no matter what is going to happen, y'all. No matter what is going to happen. No matter what. Something's going to happen. So why not have some control over it? And that's what this season is about. That's what this season is about. Having some control over that. Seeing your own shit, seeing your own BS, seeing the areas where you may have, been playing it small in and not really testing yourself or pushing yourself or whatever the case is. And like, I'm also getting the vibe of like getting advice within different sources and spaces. Okay? Getting advice from outdoor dated sources and spaces where I don't use that water. Get my other water. Baby, I got open water bottles everywhere, child. That one ain't got no top on it, so I feel like I was using that one for plants. And so I'm going to just let that just do what it's doing, okay? But this season of your life, it's all about, for all of us, like this is a full collective thing of the endurance that you're going through. This isn't like I'm going to stay down with my man or my woman until, no, this ain't that type of endurance. That type of endurance causes mental instability. It causes emotional instability. It causes physical instability. This is the type of energy of No, I'm going to push through these things that make me a better person. These things that test me and push my limits to show me how far I can go. So I thought I could only go 50 meters. Whole time I could go the whole 100. It's just that I was looking at the whole 100, not realizing I got to train to get up to that shit. Okay? So as I endure and train and build those muscles. That's what our spiritual self is. That's what our body is. That's what our life is. That's what our mind is. We got to train it. Our brain is a muscle. 7755, we got to train it. So as I train all of this, as I train my muscles, my brain, my mind, I'm becoming better. I'm becoming stronger. I'm becoming a better person. I'm not as malleable and, I don't fall apart as easy as I used to. I'm testing my limits. I'm no longer saying that's just how I am. No, that's how I was. But I'm changing that about myself now. I have the power to do that. Okay. I'm huffing and puffing, carrying all the groceries up 2 flights of stairs. I can change that. Give me 2 months. Now I choose to be tired because I know it's making me better. Now I know when I'm huffing and puffing, it just means that I'm testing and pushing myself into another limit. I can do it. I can do it. And you can do it. But you need to know that when these tests come, it don't mean that you need another message. It don't mean that you need another confirmation most times. It means you need to get out there and do it and endure past that shit. Okay? You don't feel like doing this because you in your feelings. Guess what? You better endure past the motherfucking feelings and start doing. Do while you feeling. Baby, listen, I be working out when I be screaming. With every yell, I feel like I be letting out some shit. Okay? I saw a meme on Instagram. It said, they be like, why you always at the gym? And it was like, God forbid a girl hit the gym instead of a man. God forbid I lift some weights than a fist to this motherfucker's face. Okay? Like, put that energy into something else. Transmute it into something different. So I could be mad at that relationship, or I can look at how that relationship pushed me to be more focused and disciplined. Or I could be mad at my mom or my dad, but I realize now different things and different pieces, just like, dang, I can't deny any of that or any struggle in my life that happened, because that struggle made me into who I am now. And I can still change it. I can still change that. I don't have to stick to that story. I don't have to stick to that reality of that story and what that story means to me. And that's why I love working with my coaching clients. That's why I love working with the butterflies. Like, seeing them actively go through this reframing, because it's not that you're forgetting it. It's not that you're saying, oh, it didn't happen. It's you're reframing the situation. So for example, say you got this memory in your head of this boy pushing you down on the playground and you got a scrape on your knee. Okay? Whole time he lost his footing and knocked into you and you fell. But in your mind, you're like, that boy pushed me, right? But the reframe, he lost his footing and I was collateral damage in that. Like, you get what I'm saying? Did you fall? Did you get hit? Yes. But the energy behind that doesn't have to be the meaning that you've given it. And I know many are going to hear that and they're going to be like, what? But that's literally what's happening around us every day, all day. When these companies rebrand, this type of stuff happen around us every day, all day. they reframe their image. They re-identify. Okay? We're always doing that with ourselves too. So the story that we tell ourselves, if the current story that you're telling yourself is keeping you stuck in a certain place, how can you shift that story that you're telling yourself? What in that story can be shifted, should be shifted, or is beneficial for you to shift? Is it the story of the how or the story of the why? And most times it's the why. Hey, Sunshine Pooh. Y'all feels me tonight, okay, in this conversation. I realize it's not that I'm just not realizing it, I've been knowing it. But humans need balance. We need balance. We need balance of things that are simple and easy. We need balance of things that are like, and then we need balance of shit that really tests us. We need a balance of all of it. We can't run from it. You know, I want to be that 80-year-old who's still out here, outside, working out, walking around, going for a morning jog. That's who I'm trying to be. I remember when I went to Kenya and we went to this community center with all the elders. All those elders walked to that community center. They walked to that community center. Do you hear me? The oldest one there was 103 years old. Okay? But that's why you're going to keep going through them tests, Pooh, because of your attitude towards it. You keep holding on to a specific outcome of what you want. And the longer we do that, we're going to keep feeling the pain because we have created this mindset or this definition of this thing. So we stay stuck. And it's going to keep us in a consistent, because the test ain't always hard. And every day ain't a test. It's training. It's like working out, going to the gym. Literally. But oftentimes what make it the most hardest is because when we're too attached to things or too attached to the outcome of it or what we want from it, you know? And that's what I was getting into in the beginning of the message of needing to let those things go and letting the past go and how we connect it to the past. I wanted to show y'all this picture, child. Baby, this man was 102 years old. 102. And he was like right up there with him. They were like really close in age and how old they were. But like they all came to this community center and they just like, they cooked with each other, they sung, they danced, and they walked there. It was a good ass time. Um, anything else, Spirit? Anything else on this conversation? That 40 minutes went by fast, child. That 40 minutes went by fast. I believe the biggest thing was shared. And even, okay, one last thing. So, you know how the message where it started in, like, with taking the certain advice from elders and things of that nature. Understand that a lot of children have really good advice. Okay? A lot of children be having good advice and they could really help you with a lot of this technical shit. So enlist your kids into teaching you how to use these technology things, okay? Because they pick up on it real quick and fast. You better rally up a niece, a nephew, okay, a son, a daughter, somebody to help you, because they be knowing, and they be knowing the newest like platforms and stuff. Like, I don't know how it gets to kids first, but these kids be knowing all the newest platforms and everything. So talk to your kids about the things that are happening online and like the platforms that are being used and things of that nature, okay? Oh no, I ain't seen that video. I love seeing me a little bossy baby, okay? Listen, because get us together. Because kids see the world from more of a futuristic place than adults do. Adults, most times, if they're stuck in the loop and the cycle, they see the world from the loop and the cycle. They don't see it from outside the cycle yet. Children can still see the world outside of the cycle. They haven't been too brainwashed into the system too much for it. You get what I'm saying? And I think Tupac talked about that in his song. He said, you ain't gonna see no 30-something-year-old man out here fighting. It's the young ones that's willing to fight different things. You get what I'm saying? Because them be the revolutionaries. I remember I was having a conversation with my little cousin when I was visiting for Mother's Day. And when I tell you he was so freaking intelligent of what he was talking about and how he was talking. And I'm like, when I was 22 years old, I wasn't thinking like this. 21, sorry, he just turned 21. When I was 21 years old, I wasn't thinking like this. And it was another 22-year-old that I remember having a conversation with. And I'm like, y'all talking like y'all got a little experience about life. Like, what is y'all connection to this world right now, you know? But a lot of it is because they haven't been too beaten down by the world to give up on that. Okay? And a lot of people, they become beaten up by the world and they become cynical with the world. And as they become cynical with the world, a lot of dreams begin to get shattered. 444. A lot of dreams begin to get shattered because of it, okay? I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I think that's it, y'all. I be wanting to stay on here. I don't want to leave, but I gotta go right now. I'll be forcing myself to talk, but I don't want to leave, but I gotta go to sleep right now. 'cause I gotta wake up in the morning. I have enjoyed y'all in the conversation tonight. I might leave this live public. I just might leave this live public, okay? Yeah. Look, Warren, I'm up here like, let me start freestyling real quick, okay? But I really don't feel like leaving, but I do gotta go because I don't have anything else to talk about. And I will be just talking from out my ass when I could be going to sleep. Okay. So I enjoyed y'all. Y'all have an amazing night. Make sure you check out website, our upcoming class, Healing the Motherline in the Butterfly Effect School of Transformation. Check out my Butterfly Alchemy coaching program. All of that is on the website for you to apply. That's the vibe. I thank you all for being here. And as always, you're welcome. Hey, Star. Always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit team is calling for you to do. Period. Okay? I love you all. Have an amazing night tonight, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.